cops and you watch beautiful searching German Shepherds. Like my favorite female German Shepherd's name was Cynthia. Cynthia. She Cynthia, she sniffed out a bad guy, Val, and she really cornered that bad guy. And I think actually, I don't know if she bit him, but Cynthia did a great job. She got her man. And that was, again, digressing. But up in Portland, this Moulton now, and he was like the sheriff. He had said they had got, I think, federal and or state funding, and they started the dog program. So they started it with, I'm not sure, half dozen wonderful, and all German Shepherds to start out. All German Shepherds, beautiful black and silver, black and tan, blah, blah. And he said he started that program. And again, they had their little badges and they had their little, vests, bulletproof vests. And he said, and their primary, the dog's primary missions, especially testing out the program, was the Rose Garden. It's called Rose, O-R-O-S-E. Kid you not, Val. Rose Garden. And that's in downtown Portland. That was the home of the Portland Trailblazers, is a basketball team, etc. So the Rose Garden. It's got some new funky $1 billion name now. I never listen to new names. I go back to the Rose Garden or the Montreal Forum or Safeco Field or Quest Field. So Rose Garden. And he said he ran, as a matter of fact, he was security and his dogs for both George W. Bush and Barack Obama. And I don't know if it was a combined event, Val. I'd have to go talk to the guy again. He said, I said, okay, tell me the difference. You actually met George Bush, George W, and you met Barack Obama. And he said, yeah, not only that, I met their wives. And I said, okay, how'd you meet them? Both of these couples. I think it might have been the same event. I'll have to do my research on it. But he said they worked their butts off because this was a new dogs program. They were not only doing it, but they were actually training the dogs at the same time. It was the first trial run for this group, whatever. And he said, I'll go the Obamas first. So Barack, they actually would debrief. They would do at the end of their event. And this was a big event. So it was a convention or whatever. They would meet in the garage, the underground. I'm not sure it was underground or underground. You know what I mean, Val? Garage at the Rose Garden. And it was secured enough with our friends and fellows in the Secret Service that the president and the first lady would come down and actually visit. Both of these couples visited with my sheriff friend. And first of all, I'll go Bush first. He said George W. Bush and Laura, Mrs. Bush, he said, were without doubt some of the nicest, most personable people he's ever met in his entire career, in his life. Just like James McCormick said, right? You can't fake that. He said, just the nicest guy in the book. And W, he said, and he didn't just come down. He came down. He kind of left, and Bush would do this all the time. He freelanced. He left his Secret Service guys. Bush once threw a football into the press pool, Val. Long distance. Bush had nicknames for all the reporters. He'd have a nickname for you, Tiny or something, or he'd call a guy like Stretch, a guy who's 6'4", he called him Stretch, because he was a jock. He threw out the first pitch in New York Yankees after 9/11, anyhow, in Yankee Stadium. But he said Bush went out of his way. He came down to the garage. Laura was there, and Laura was just chatting it up with the rest of the guys. This was also a very secure, independent couple. And he said Bush he looked you in the eye.